So BizRun is cloud-based HR software for small business. It began as a standalone product, but it's now integrated with Acumatica Cloud ERP and Acumatica Payroll. It's got a wide range of features, things like timekeeping, paid time off, onboarding, an interactive work chart, and really all the things you'd expect from an HR information system. But let's take a look at the most popular features for Acumatica. So first and foremost, timekeeping. You can clock in from a mobile phone or desktop, only charge to projects you're approved for in Acumatica. Time cards get routed to supervisors for review, and we support bi-monthly payroll with overtime, which can be tricky. Next is paid time off. Employees can submit PTO requests and view balances themselves from mobile or from desktop. Requests get routed to supervisors, and everyone can see PTO on multiple shared calendars in Google and Outlook. Next is employee records. BizRun gives you a home for all of the employee-related data that might not be in Acumatica. So things like training, licensing, and certifications, EEO data, employment history, compensation, performance reviews, and employees can actually fill out electronic forms like I-9s and W-4s and electronically sign them. And once those get approved, the data in them gets transmitted to Acumatica via API. Which brings us to the last and most important feature I want to highlight, the Acumatica integration. Basically, any data that gets updated in BizRun, once it gets routed for approval to a supervisor or admin, and then once approved, gets pushed to Acumatica via API. So stepping back for a minute to look at the bigger picture and the full suite of capabilities that BizRun offers, we already touched on timekeeping, paid time off, and employee records. We also have digital onboarding. So new hires can fill out forms and electronically sign documents. Tasks get created for people or departments to complete to keep that onboarding process on track. We have compensation management. Supervisors can route pay change requests to the appropriate party for review and processing. Performance management. BizRun gives you an easy way to handle employee performance reviews that is flexible and customizable. And recruiting. From BizRun, you're able to post jobs to multiple job boards and track your applicants. And all of that is integrated with Acumatica. Notice that payroll is not listed here. Just to get in front of a question I get asked sometimes, BizRun does not have an independent payroll solution. Instead, we integrate with Acumatica Payroll. And we do, of course, offer a CSV export for use with other payroll systems. So with that, I will jump into the demo. Okay, let me know when you see 3 people on the screen.
I see them.
Okie dokie. So I'm obviously logged into the desktop version of BizRun. I'm logged in as Alex Sanchez. I'm looking at a view of my organization where I am in the org chart, and I can drill up or drill down as I like. The mobile app is a bit more streamlined, especially when it comes to timekeeping. Basically, the timesheet opens up immediately when you open the mobile app. But we're just going to go into Alex and charge some time. Alex is a clock-in type of worker. So he has already clocked in this morning. We can actually see hours that he's charged to this week. He charged a full 8 hours yesterday. He was working on a couple of different projects. He went to lunch. So right now, if I'd like, I can go ahead and transfer to another project. And the list of projects that I see here is filtered. The projects come over from Acumatica, and these are the only projects that Alex has permission to charge to. So now I can transfer to this other project. And later in the day, he can transfer to a break or to lunch. And of course, at the end of the day, he can clock out. Next, I'm going to show you a time off request. Okay, so I can take a look at my balance. I can see as of today, Alex has accrued a little over 42 hours of time off. By the end of the year, he'll have 48 hours of leave accrued. And I can put in a request for him. So let's say he wants to take 2 whole weeks off for Christmas. Okay, so BizRun's giving us some good information here. For one thing, we're seeing that this time off request is way over budget. Another thing that's helpful to see, if we look down here, we can see the request day by day. We see there's some potential conflicts with other colleagues in the office, which can be helpful. And we also can see the Christmas holiday that he's being given. He can come in here and edit this. Let's say he wanted to only take a half day. He can put in which hours he would be taking off, but he's going to have to knock off a lot more than just a half day to get this back in line. So let's cut off some of that time. Now we can see he's got 40 hours of leave requested, and we can go ahead and submit that. Okay, and now we can see that request in his pending folder, and we can open that up and look at some detail here. I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, my Zoom window is partially covering this, but you can see the request details. You can see that this request is awaiting his boss, Hannah, to approve it. If he wanted to, he actually can do the details if he was fuzzy on, wait, what was that request I put in? And he can withdraw it if he decides that he wants to do something different. So that's PTO. Okay. Next up, I'm going to log out and log in as a different user to give you a feel for a different style of timekeeping. Logging in as Maxwell Baker, who might be familiar to some of our viewers from the demo data set in Acumatica. So Maxwell is set up for timesheet style timekeeping rather than clock in, clock out. And this would be timekeeping that might be done at the end of the day or even the end of the week. And we can see that Maxwell has charged, he charged this time yesterday. He's splitting time between a couple of projects. And he's got 4 hours charged today. So we'll go ahead and put in 4 more hours on this project. And again, these are the projects that he has permission to view and charge to from Acumatica. We also, I wanted to mention, we're currently in development with an enhancement to capture labor item and cost code as well in timekeeping. So that's a new development that we're excited to have coming out here soon. So he's got 16 hours on his timesheet. And at the end of the week, he can submit that time card for approval. And once approved, those hours will get pushed into Acumatica for pay. So the last thing I want to show you guys, it's kind of a quick tour. We're going to hop into personal info. As I mentioned before, BizRun gives really a home for all of that employee-related data that you might not have all that detail in Acumatica. So we can see just some basic employee information. We have all the EEO data, you know, critical contacts, payroll information, employment history, compensation history, documents that are saved with him, performance reviews, benefits elections, of course, his time, his PTO, and then training, licensing, and certifications. I do want to mention over here in that first tab, we have some additional fields, see some Acumatica related fields. This data gets pulled over from Acumatica, but any updates that get made here, once approved, they will update in Acumatica as well. And especially when it comes to the EEO data, anybody who has spent time in the dreaded payroll tax setting screens knows how tricky that screen can be to update. And these screens we have in BizRun just give a little bit more user-friendly experience for updating those fields. But right now, I'm going to hop over to payroll and, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry. Second. Draw this request. Okay, I want to walk you guys through adding a direct deposit form. So here in BizRun, he can go ahead himself and set up direct deposit, and he can enter his bank information. I'm just going to put in some bogus account numbers. If he wanted to, he could actually split his pay between checking and savings account if he wanted to, but we're just going to keep it simple and set up one account for direct deposit. So that's what we entered. We're going to go ahead and submit it. He's going to electronically sign it. It's as easy as this. Click of a button. Okay, this is what he submitted. Now, similar with the PTO request, when we go over and take a look at his pending folder, we can see that request in here. We can actually click to view this form, and BizRun has electronically created this form. It shows the signature, and that will get saved on his record. And he can see that it's awaiting one approver. So yeah, this is high speed demo of BizRun, but yeah, I appreciate it. We would love to be in touch. So if anybody's interested in seeing more, obviously we can show the actual updates that occur in Acumatica. So you can reach out to us at www.bizrun.com or on LinkedIn. And thank you so much for having us.